Ladies and gents, please welcome to episode 2 of the Ginger Sports Podcast. All of those lessons I talked about learning in the introduction to episode 1 of the podcast, we haven't actually learned any of them yet because these were both recorded last week, Wednesday and Thursday, before I had the chance to listen to either recording back. Thank you, by the way, to anyone who made it to the end of episode 1. We really appreciate you taking the time to listen to us ramble about West Ham signing half of the Man United team for just over an hour. You're all absolute troopers. Same idea this week. We're keeping or selling every member of the Arsenal squad, this time with Darragh and Gordon Tullock. I hope you enjoy it, and even if you don't, still give us 5 stars on iTunes. But here's the pod. What were you saying about net spend?
Yeah, the net spend is between, I've heard 50 to 70, so like 50 to 70 is not going to get you very much at all. Like if you look at Fabinho yesterday, 44 million gone on a central midfielder who is a bit of a gamble.
So you want to try and do it net spend, so whoever you sell, you're going to have to justify a price tag.
Exactly.
We'll have to agree on a price tag.
Exactly, so like the current suggested transfers for the next season are like not glamour names as such. Like if you look at like Papadopoulos, he's 16 million because he's got a year left in his Dortmund contract.
Do you know, funny story about Papadopoulos?
He's a dick.
So we went to Dortmund for a weekend. We went for a game, and we got very lucky that the bar we were at after had a lot of the players in it. It had like Sahin and it had Papadopoulos, and we were kicking about at the time with a guy from Dortmund, and our pal Jamie went up to Papadopoulos and asked for a picture.
He was sitting at the table like right next to us.
So Jamie goes up, asks him for a picture, and he tells him no, fuck off. And then this German guy that we were with, Jens, was like die-hard Borussia Dortmund fan, and he's like, he doesn't know what it fucking means to be a Dortmund player. And I thought he was going to smash him. Honestly, thought he was going to leap over, get a stein out, and put it over his head. Man, he was fuming. So from that point on, Papadopoulos is a dick.
Do you know what though? I like it because we've got no fucking dickheads in our team. Like that's exactly what we need. Someone who actually just stand up a bit. Like the defense is absolutely shambles. Like Mustafi is a joke. Do you think Mustafi's going to turn away and turn down a photo in a pub?
No,
probably not.
I feel like the only real aggressive player in the team at the moment is probably Granit Xhaka, but he's too much of a hothead.
It's not channeled aggression though. It's not channeled.
He's too much of a hothead. Like,
right, we'll start before we end up talking about all the players.
Rambling's over.
Right. Yeah. Right. So, would you keep or would you sell Peter Cech?
Sell
him. Right.
Can I interject? I think you're going to say you're going to keep either Petr Cech or you're going to keep David Ospina.
Yeah, you have to keep one of them.
You can't sell
This is the point. You can't sell both of them.
You can't sell everyone.
If I'm selling one of them, I'm selling Ospina every day of the week. I don't rate either keeper, to be honest. Right? I think they're both past it completely. Well, Ospina's not past it. He was never there. Cech was a great keeper. He's no longer a great keeper. But I think if you're keeping one of them, like what do you get for Cech if you sell him? Really?
No, that's true.
You can what do you get for Ospina? 5 million?
Yeah.
You take your 5 million
to some French club.
Like Ospina is no use to that club in sense of training youngsters on what makes a good goalkeeper. Because I don't think he's a good goalkeeper. Like,
do you think Peter Cech's happy to play second fiddle though?
I actually do think he is. I do think.
Yeah, I think he's 36 years old.
I think he's realised now a little bit that he's actually not as good as he was. Like he makes errors a lot. Ospina comes in. Like I tell you, if you're a top keeper, and you're playing in a Europa League semi-final, you're banging at the door to start that game.
Yeah.
Ospina shouldn't be starting that game. If he's that much a better keeper than Ospina, Wenger makes the decision to play Cech in the big game, but he doesn't. Because there's not that much between the two. And I think Cech kind of realises that a little bit. And I think he's a guy you keep at the club to be like a future trainee
Yeah.
goalkeeper, coach or whatever.
Like
Because,
Lehman.
yeah.
Lehman's a coach now.
Lehman's a coach, but Czech has valuable experience. Like playing for Chelsea
Yeah.
for 10 years or whatever it was. Like,
Layman's a wank.
but you know, I think Ospina adds no value. I mean, Ospina's never going to turn into a coach at the club.
No.
Czech could turn into a good coach at the club.
Yeah. But
So,
then who did he get?
Gigi Buffon.
Well,
Buffon on a free.
I mean, they could. But then is
Jack Butland.
Is that going the same way as when they got
I
Czech?
don't think they get Buffon.
Yeah,
I can't
to
see
be
it.
honest, I don't think they get Buffon. I don't think, if we're talking, so for a starting point, we're going to say they've got 50 million to spend because that's all we know. That's what the papers are reporting. So it's down 50 million.
Credit the Sun for that.
Credit, yeah, credit the Sun. So yeah, if you're selling David Ospina, you then need to get a reserve goalkeeper in.
Yeah.
Or you promote. I don't know why they never do this. They never just put a youth goalkeeper in.
But they got Matt Macy there, but no, like he hasn't played. He hasn't played at all. I would value putting him on the bench as opposed to Ospina because I really don't rate Ospina. But
then Czech gets injured.
I think Czech has. I think they have to buy a keeper that is going to be the keeper. I don't think they can buy a second keeper.
No.
I think Czech needs to be the second keeper.
But the whole point is how much will they need to spend if they
I
only
think
have
they-
50 million.
Surely a club of Arsenal size has more than 50 million to spend.
I've heard it's up to 70. So
Right,
that's
you want to go 70?
No,
you
I'm
want
not
to go
saying.
70?
I'm
Right,
not
we'll go
saying-
70.
Right.
How can
So-
how is that possible that they've only got 70
Yeah.
I
million?
mean, they should have 300 million to spend.
I'd be
Price a
astonished.
season ticket.
That's what I mean. Like how can they value themselves as only having, or how can the papers come out and say
Just as a side,
Arsenal only
like,
have 70 million?
Well, that's why. I don't know. That's why Luis Enrique wouldn't go to them.
yeah.
They didn't agree on wages. They didn't agree. Luis Enrique thought you would need more than 50 to 70 million
But I
to
think-
overdo that squad.
I think Enrique's looking in the region of 200 million to overhaul the squad. Honestly, I'm not.
It might take 200 million. I mean, depends what your ambitions for Arsenal are.
Don't get me wrong. I think Enrique's joining that club looking to win the Champions League with them.
To be
And
honest,
they
like,
need massive
But I think
I've got my own problems with Enrique because Enrique has not proven himself as a manager. Sacked at Roma and then won a couple of things with Barca. But I'm not judging anyone on what they do with Barca with Lionel Messi at the helm.
Yeah.
Barca, I could put Barca out and just say go play, and they could still win La Liga.
But
Right.
I like there's keepers out there for sure. I think in Germany, for example, I think you'll get a keeper for
But
Right.
Loris Karius,
no. But like 20 million, you like there was a keeper, I can't remember his name now, but he was touted as like 20 million, and he would be the number one if he came in. I think that's what you need to go for. Like Jack Butland is there for what 35, is it?
yeah, I think
That's
so.
probably a bit
He's-
much if you only have
It's,
70 million.
it's too much.
Because
it's too
there's
much.
bigger problems in that team. There's
Yeah.
centre half, there's centre mid. They're the two main problems: centre half, centre mid. You're going to be spending at least 50 to fill those positions. So
Yeah.
like,
They carry more money
you
now.
can't you can't spend 35 on Jack
Yeah.
Butland.
Yeah.
You can't.
Especially in with the transfer market the way it is at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, centre mid's going to cost you 50 million plus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy.
A good one.
So, conclusion on the goalkeepers: keep Peter Cech and sell David Ospina for 5 million.
Yeah, you're not getting more than 5 million, honestly. Like every
But
time.
you're not happy to keep them both.
No,
No,
I'm not happy to keep like.
right.
Uh, like,
75
one of them-
million.
Like they're both not good enough. That's the reality. So one of them has to go in a season where you're going to sell the players that haven't been good enough. And I think Ospina's never done it. And some club in Turkey seems to always want to buy him. Like it's
Sell him back to you.
Yeah. So I think you take your 5 million now and get rid of him.
Aye.
He's not going to sign a new contract if he's sitting on the bench as well.
Okay, fair enough. Right, defenders. Numero uno, Hector Bellerin has a horrendous season and then has the cheek to say he's happy in London.
I think he kind of fucked it for himself after there was all the Barca talk, and then he had such a horrendous season, and even like towards the end of the previous season, and then I think Barca were just kind of like, you're not the player we thought you were.
But on the flip side of that coin, is Arsene Wenger just a shite defensive coach and didn't teach him anything didn't have the temperament to control him. I think that's a massive issue for it.
He's one that you'd have optimism over next season. Like, there's a couple that in the squad that you'd say I'm optimistic. A coach that actually has discipline to the way they coach will change that player into a good player again.
Yeah.
Like, he was really good when he was 19, and he's 23 now, and I don't rate him at the moment. I honestly think he's not a good
player. He's a liability.
Yeah.
He's a liability.
So I think you definitely keep him, because I'd hate to see him go to a club that can actually coach him and make him the player he should be. But
that's the thing.
It's a season you give him. I wouldn't, if he doesn't do it after another season, I'm like, cash in 25 million on him.
Well, he's not a kid anymore. 23, you're not young, especially when you made your debut so young. He's 4 or 5 years experienced. He should be better than he is. He's not fulfilling his potential.
But there's a lot of players in that squad that you say, exactly, it's like
well,
your point.
Yeah.
It's whether Wenger is a good enough
It's down to the coach, and I don't think he is a good enough coach. So it's up to Emery as to how much he thinks he has to recruit.
Well, bear in mind, look at that defensive list, and Bellerin knows every week he's starting the game. Every single week he's starting the next game.
Well, they don't have a right back in the squad apart from him.
So I think the touted signing of Lichtensteiner is a great signing, because he's actually, like, he's 34, right?
Yep.
He's free transfer, so straight away your net spend isn't impacted.
Yeah.
And you're talking about getting a guy who's won 7 Serie A's in the last whatever,
and a
2
good
years.
maybe not the not as good going forward.
He's a winner though.
Bellerin would
He's
be,
a winner.
but he comes with that mentality, and he's also more defensive minded. He's a better defender than Bellerin is.
Hard, like, he's not a centre half, but he's a kind of hard centre half coming into your team, and we don't have anything like that.
He's like of that Sergio Ramos mentality where you would hate playing against him, but if he's in your team, you fucking love it.
Aye,
exactly.
You love it. He's a hard cunt.
If you can get him on a free transfer, Bellerin all of a sudden has a problem.
Yeah, take it.
And he either steps up this season with a bit of coaching defensively, knows to be disciplined when he's going forward, or else he decides, you know what, I prefer to try get into a team like Barca, and then I tell him, like, fuck off. You're welcome to fuck off, because you haven't done it, like, and you've gone on with all this crap about, like, you know, I love Arsenal, all this. Show it then, like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And it could, bringing in a seasoned defender like that could make him raise his game, so it could be a good thing for the squad
exactly
as well.
what I think
It creates more competition within the squad for that position.
Where's the risk? Like, you're not paying 20 million to get a backup right back into the team. You're paying nothing. You're getting a guy. He's probably happy to come to a club like Arsenal now, because Juventus aren't going to sign him on again. So I think it's a win-win.
So we're keeping Bellerin.
Definitely, yeah.
Other side of defence, you've got Nacho Monreal and you've got Kolasinac. Yeah. That Bosnian boy. So you've got Nacho Monreal, who made the Spain World Cup squad ahead of Marcus Alonso and Bellerin.
Yeah.
Clearly, he's Arsenal's best player this season. Maybe behind Ramsey. Second behind Ramsey.
Yeah.
But he's 32. I mean, all of it, like, in the purpose of this exercise, obviously you keep him because he's probably not on a whole lot of money.
Aye.
But he's also very good.
Yeah. The reality is, it's like, it goes back to that. If you have 200 million, you clear out your left backs, because they're not really top standard. But we don't have 200 million. We have 50 million, and I think the issues are centre halves, centre mid, and goalkeeper.
Yeah.
The left backs, you'll get by with 10 good players, and then Nacho Monreal playing left back.
Yeah.
Kolasinac was a free transfer. I don't know, he started so well, he hasn't been good. He can't defend. He's good going forward, he can't defend. I think you give him a chance. I think you give both of them a chance. I think you don't need to replace them.
He's also 24. He's got sell-on value.
Exactly, yeah. You could sell him now, but I don't think you're going to get that much from him if you sell him now. I think if you hold him and hold Monreal's not going to have a sell-on value by the time he's 33.
No.
So
unless you're getting somebody cheap, like if for example, like Man United just decided to chuck Luke Shaw, then you might get somebody young relatively cheap, but at the same time they paid so much for him, they're probably going to want some of that money back.
With Monreal too, it's a lot of the time you're only really worried about him as a defender when he's facing a fast winger, and you don't face that often.
Yeah.
So I think he's okay. I think he's okay for a season, and I think Kolasinac as a backup is okay, but he's not like, I would clear them out probably in a year's time, but we'll see what they turn into, I suppose.
Right. So we're keeping our right back, we're keeping our 2 left backs. We get to the centre halves and it's a little bit of a shit show. So you've got Koscielny, who's 32, turns 33 in September, but he's got a ruptured Achilles tendon. He's injured again. You don't know how he's going to come back. You don't know if he's going to come back. He's the captain. He's the only even nearly leader in the team. But you need to keep him. You need to keep him because he's injured and he can't go to anyone else.
Aye.
So out of necessity, you keep him.
Yeah.
You've got Mustafi, who he's won the World Cup with Germany. He's been a good player at other teams. 35 million quid Arsenal paid for him. I think he is, right.
He's awful.
He's been bad, but I don't think he's a bad player. I think a good defensive coach in Unai Emery can bring the best out of him.
But here's the situation, put it to you, like, yeah, I agree that a good defensive coach could turn him into a good defender, but at the same time, if you got offered 20 million for him now, you take it.
But how much would it cost to replace him? Right, so these are the other centre halves in Arsenal squad: Rob Holding, Callum Chambers,
Guff.
Konstantinos, Mavropanos. That's 2 weeks in Zante that gets you that pronunciation.
Giving him a chance. Purely because he's a win-win situation. Like, he cost £2 million. If he doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. But he's shown more promise than Callum Chambers has, for example, who's been there for 3 years now. So
played 3 games and get sent off in
I
one.
know he got sent off in one.
That's Frimpong standards.
I know he did, but the other 2 games were pretty decent. Like, and to be honest, he's like, Callum Chambers is an absolute liability at centre half. So.
I mean, Callum Chambers just shouldn't be there. He should. Again, it depends what kind of football club you want Arsenal to be. But if you want Arsenal to be up there with Man United, Man City, Liverpool, even Tottenham, Callum Chambers isn't in the squad.
I mean, surely that's the aim.
Yeah.
Surely the aim is to
be.
compete for
that is
first
the
and second. It has to be.
Yeah.
If the fans are paying the highest premium for tickets in the league,
What, 23 grand for a season ticket behind the goal?
Whatever it is, and then
it's stupid money.
And then for a team the size and with the kind of aura and history or whatever of Arsenal, they should be competing for first and second in the league.
Yeah, they should.
But do you know, I think out of the centre halves there, you say, right? I personally think it's rumours that Juventus are in for Mustafi. I'd be shocked if they actually are, because I don't know what they've been watching to make them think that's a good idea. But if they have that notion to go sign him, I sell him to them and I buy another centre half.
You buy another centre half.
I cut him and I buy another one. But if not, you keep him. You keep Koscielny because you have to. Plus, Koscielny's got experience now. He was gonna be in the France World Cup squad. Like, I know he's old and but you're not gonna sell him on for anything, so you might as well keep him.
Yep.
I think Mustafi is the biggest problem because he's the one that's now the young, he's the experienced centre half, and it's worrying to say that he's the experienced centre half.
To be honest, I keep him rather than taking a £15 million cut on him. I keep. I think he can be. I think he can be decent. I don't think anyone can really thrive under Arsene Wenger.
But
defensively,
You think he'll thrive now?
I think so. I think because his midfield are going to be far more sorted in front of him. You need to keep in mind when you're a centre half and you have a striker, you're playing against a striker that drops and doesn't make it easy for you, doesn't go man for man. You need your centre mids to be good and to be switched on, and the communication has to be fantastic between 4 of you. Granit Xhaka and Aaron Ramsey don't have that. They don't. I think it's very hard for us. I know they make individual mistakes. I know that's exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah.
He does make individual mistakes, but I don't think it's made easy for him by the people around him. Your fullbacks leave you exposed, especially if you're playing the right and you're playing next to Hector Bellerin. You've got nothing. You've got no protection at all. If you've got Koscielny playing next to you, hasn't been good for a while. I think he can be a good defender, and I would stick with him rather than taking a punt on him.
I agree Koscielny hasn't been good. I agree that the centre mids don't do enough to protect the centre halves, but I've watched I don't know how many games this season where Mustafi has not attacked the ball when he's the one to attack the ball. Like Shane Long got in front of him for Southampton.
Fantastic play.
I don't know how many times he scored this season. I'd say it's probably 3 goals maybe, and he got in front of Mustafi for a ball that Mustafi was at least 5 yards ahead for, and he just didn't attack the ball. He just
You're right there.
I was trying to see if I could mute my mic while I coughed.
Absolutely not. We're not that professional. Right.
No, but I think, but like you said, he's been good, but where has he been good really?
I don't like. I mean, Valencia. Like you have to be good to be signed for 35 million. He's been good.
I question a lot of the signings that have come into the club though.
Andy Carroll was signed for 35 million.
Yeah, right. I've realised as I made that point it might not be great. Torres went for 50. I don't know.
Valencia, he was at Everton. He didn't get played in Everton. Like that was his early days, right? But Germany, like that, like Mertesacker won a World Cup. But how many games did he play that contributed to winning the World Cup?
Look, I may not have met much evidence for this, but I'd give him a go. I would give him a go because I think it's going to cost you. I'm just looking.
Like
I'm looking
from
at the
cost-
70 million you
Like
need to spend
a
here.
cost benefit analysis
Yeah.
that's coming in.
So you can't replace
better.
both your centre halves. Koscielny is obviously the starter, and Mustafi is obviously the other starter. Koscielny's done. He's may as well retire.
Yeah.
You need to buy 2 centre halves. 2 quality centre halves is going to cost you a lot of money. Keep Mustafi, buy someone else, and have that as your 2 centre halves.
I think it looks like they're going to buy
Socrates.
Socrates for £16 million.
That prick.
1 year left on the contract.
I mean that's cheap nowadays.
16 million is cheap.
Yeah, exactly. I heard he had a bad season last season though. So that's the one concern is that he's coming off another, like the Arsenal defenders have had a bad season.
Yeah.
It's bringing in a centre half that had another bad season.
Matt Hummels made him look good.
Yeah,
Like Matt Hummels, like when he played, like Matt Hummels covered. Like obviously he was a standout defender, but he covered more. And obviously they had a good team as well, but it probably made Socrates look a bit better because there was so much protection there.
I honestly can't say I've seen him play that often. I know he has like 87 caps or something for Greece.
Yeah,
but like
he's only like 26 or something as well. He's not.
But
he's old. He's 29.
Is he 29?
Yeah, he's 29. So he's you're buying a guy who's 2 years, like 2 years at the top, and then that's it.
Arsenal might need that though. I'm looking at their squad here. It's not old. There's only over 30. You've got Peter Cech and you've got Monreal. That's it. But no one else is over 30.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you bring Lichtsteiner in for at 34 years of age for free,
that balance,
and Socrates for what 16 million at 29.
It'd be sensible spending.
Exactly, that's what I think. I think it is pretty good.
It tightens up the defence.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So, out of your 3 that you've probably got to sell, Holding, Chambers.
The one I'd sell if I could sell is Chambers. But I really don't know what you get for Chambers. He's both Holding and Chambers have just signed new contracts with the club.
Have they? Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great business.
That helps in terms of sell on value, but
not if you kind of get anyone that's going to fucking buy them.
Yeah, I think you're getting a
homegrown.
I think for Callum Chambers you're getting a championship club. That's max you're getting. Like, do you think he fits into anyone else? Like maybe a Huddersfield.
Well, no, it was he played. I think it's 24 league games for Middlesbrough in the season they get relegated. Like he couldn't even assert himself as a starter there. Like,
but I heard he did quite well.
Quite well on a team that went down.
Quite well.
Okay.
A team that didn't concede that many goals.
Yeah.
Right, they were quite solid defensively. They just never scored a goal.
I just think there's better centre halves on the market. You've got like first one that pops into my head is like Alfie Mawson from Swansea, who's just been relegated.
Exactly. If you're like Johnny
Evans, yeah, 3 million quid or whatever it is.
If you're looking at a sure thing, you're a new club into the Premier League. Let's say Wolves, for example. They don't want to take a Callum Chambers because you don't know what he's going to give you.
No fucking way.
Surely Arsenal should just be going like all out, just go for Johnny Evans.
100%.
If he wants 200 grand a week, just pay him because you're only paying 3 million for him.
Johnny Evans should be getting the train for Arsenal to Liverpool to sign for one of them just now.
Yeah.
Right.
Like 3 million quid. That's not. You barely get a youth player for 3 million quid just now.
Unless every transfer dealing for the centre halves and stuff falls through for Arsenal. Johnny Evans isn't coming in. Telling you, it's not happening because it'll be a last minute. Like the only way that'll happen is if Arsenal fail with all their transfer signings for centre halves and it's transfer deadline day and Johnny Evans is there for 3 million. That's the only way it happens. Like
laughable. Yeah. Right. So summarising defenders: Mustafi, Holding, Chambers, Mavropanos. Who are you keeping? Who are you selling?
Definitely keeping Mavropanos. Definitely keeping. I think you keep Holding. I think you try sell Chambers if you can, but I don't know what you get from.
Just get a straight swap. Get a straight swap for Johnny Evans.
Yeah,
yeah. 3 million out, 3 million.
Aye, or even just offload him and his wages and buy Johnny Evans for 3 million.
Yeah.
And put the trade in for him as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'd snap your head off.
Yeah.
And
then you're saving money on the wages.
So say we sell Callum Chambers for 5 million as well. Bring in Evans.
I struggle to see 5 million.
Yeah,
you never know now. But the way the transfer market is, like,
I know.
Even players that aren't that great still go for 10 million.
Bet you left a player off that squad list as well. Lucas Perez.
You know what? I saw.
There's a couple.
Like,
no, but this.
I saw that. We'll get to him when we.
Yeah,
I saw that fucking
noticed.
Sky Sports News article. Right. We'll get to it.
There's a few more.
10, 15. Yeah. If I was including Lucas Perez, I'd be talking about Carl Jenkinson right now.
Carl Jenkinson and Joel Campbell.
Right. Fuck it. Mustafi. I'm keeping him. What do you want to do?
Well, preferably I'd sell him for 20 million, but I still don't believe the rumour that Juventus would pay that for him. I think it's strange if they do.
But again, so if you're selling him, are you bringing in Johnny Evans and you're bringing in Socrates?
Yeah, if I sell him, I'm bringing in Lichtsteiner as right back for free. I'm bringing in Socrates for 16 million, and I'm probably looking. There's a guy called Kakanoglu or something his name is.
Oh, what, AC Milan?
23-year-old
Oh. No idea then.
He's in the German league anyway, and he's gonna cost like 20 million.
Is that the guy that has free kicks?
No, that's what I was thinking of, the AC Milan boy, but no.
No, they're trying.
He was at Hamburg. Was he at Hamburg before?
No,
Leverkusen.
He's the Turkish lad.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. No, this guy's. I haven't seen him play, but it looks like they're gonna go for him, and it's like 25 million, which is a lot. So that might be the second second centre half, but I think it should be more like Johnny Evans, someone who's reliable in the Premier League, do a job. 3 million.
Right, midfielders. We'll get to everyone's favourite to start with. Granit Xhaka. He's 25. Cost 30 million quid.
He's a guaranteed red card as well.
Oh, walking red card.
Do you know what? I'll counter that. He was. He's not anymore.
You think he's a changed man?
I think he's tempered that a little bit. He hasn't tempered the bad things in his game, but he's tempered the aggressiveness a bit. So he makes a stupid tackle every now and then, but he gets the yellow. He doesn't get the red anymore. But what he does do is he doesn't track back, which is criminal for
a centre defensive mid.
Like, I've seen him so many times. He's in the right position, and then he just goes, stops, stops watching the ball completely, and then gets into the box. The ball goes into the net, and he throws his hands up in the air. And I'm like, you're the one to blame.
Yeah.
You and Mustafi usually are the ones to blame. Mustafi throws his hands up in the air for everything as well. So
that's the thing. It's whether he can learn, whether he can improve as a player. Because again, when he was coming from Mönchengladbach, he was supposed to be a really good player. A lot of German journalists that I'd listened to said he was a very good player. And is it just that Wenger's a really bad coach? And
Arsenal, they've also had it could be they've had a major problem, I think, at centre defensive mid since
Patrick Vieira, when Abu Dhabi was made of chocolate.
He was a solid player, but he just couldn't be fit. Like,
it's
different story. But
different,
You telling me Francis Coquelin couldn't replace Patrick Vieira?
Absolutely. I'm saying that. Well, I mean, absolutely. I'm saying that Francis Coquelin was also the same as Granit Xhaka. He was
if you want to, like...
He was a hothead and a loose cannon.
We can group them all in. We can group Coquelin, we can group Xhaka, we can group El Neni into a bunch of players.
Frimpong.
But
please include Frimpong into that.
He's in a fucking atmosphere of his own.
Like, I remember he moved to...
Coquelin at least had more defensive bones in his body than... He's not as good a footballer as Xhaka.
Yeah.
But he was a better centre defensive mid than Xhaka.
Yeah.
He put in the right tackles, whereas your man Xhaka just flies into a tackle.
He's got Paul Scholes tendencies.
The one was against United, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He slid. He just slid.
Yeah.
Like 20 yards across the pitch, and it's like Pogba just stepped inside him.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? Like, that's not a tackle you made.
Yeah.
But he's a better footballer. His stats are really good in terms of passing. He's got a really good long distance pass, and he's got a good shot on him. He's a good footballer. Just needs that defensive mindset.
Yeah, it's just whether Emery has a look at him and goes, right, this boy can learn. This boy has the discipline to do what I'm telling him to do. Because that's the first thing Emery said when he came in. He was like, they need to work harder with and without the ball, which is true because you've got a bunch of lazy bastards with no fear of consequences because Arsene was soft. So it's whether Xhaka, El Neni, what the fuck's happening outside? Some fireworks or something. Yeah. So Xhaka, I think I would keep just because I don't think anyone buys him. No one buys him for what you paid for him. No one pays 30 million for him.
And I don't think you're getting a good standard replacement for the. Let's just say you get 20 million for him or 25 million. What are you really replacing? Like, if you were just to do it straight 25 million for 25 million, what are you really getting?
Joe Allen, 5 million.
No.
Nah, not good enough. Good enough to win the league?
Absolutely.
You might get your man Seri for Nice. But, like, back to Xhaka, do you think he actually is a defensive mid?
No, he can't. He's not a defensive mid. He likes having the ball in those kind of areas, but he doesn't like doing the dirty side of it.
So do you think he's a centre mid? And there needs to be a defensive mid.
Which they're not going to get.
Perhaps I've been overly harsh on him for over a year now because Wenger looked at his squad.
Do you think he's out of position?
Well, I certainly think he's not defensive. So,
but even if he is, man, you have to adapt.
Completely.
You have to adapt.
Completely. Didn't they also do that with Fabregas and Ramsey? They're not really defensive mids. They're more centre mids or centre attacking mids, but they never played there.
Ramsey's definitely a centre mid. Ramsey
can't defend either.
Ramsey shouldn't be anywhere near.
That's what I mean. That quite often they would get played as like a 4-2. They would get played in the 2.
The strength in his game is bursting into the box. So
yeah.
If you put him as a defensive mid, you could have anyone as a defensive mid. He's not a good defender. He doesn't make good tackles or whatever. Xhaka, I agree. I don't think he was a defensive mid when we signed him. But I do think if he's been the one that's starting every single Premier League game as a defensive mid, you learn how to play that position. You don't just stop defending. Like, that's reality what he's done. He's just stopped defending at times. And it's like, well, it's time we replace you. And then he's not getting in as a centre mid then.
No. So he's the one where most of the discussion's going to be on, because Aaron Ramsey, unquestionably, you keep if you can. If you can sign him in a new deal. If I'm Aaron Ramsey, I probably don't, because I'm 27 years old. When he's 28 years old, it'll be out of contract, and he can probably go. If he's just say he's another season like he did this season, I think he can go to most other teams and get in. Jack Wilshere.
But can I just stop you on Ramsey? Do you not think that there's no chance he's signing that contract unless they pay him serious cash like Ozil or whatever? Yeah, no.
I mean, if you're Aaron Ramsey and you're looking across the dressing room at Mesut Ozil, and you're thinking, this little prick on 300 grand
doesn't
or whatever
play,
a week.
Doesn't want to play away from home.
Yeah, turns up a few times a season, none of them against the big teams. You're probably like, yeah, you're straight on the phone to your agent going, unless they give me the amount of money that he's on, there's no way. There's no way I'm signing that deal. So if I'm Aaron Ramsey, no, I don't sign the deal.
But then that begs the question, right? You say unquestionably keep Ramsey. I think you have
If
a
they
decision.
can.
You have a decision. to make.
Sorry.
So
Yeah.
if it
You
goes
either
into
need to
next-
sell him.
Yeah, you sell him now if you can't get him to sign a contract. That's the point.
You have to avoid. It has to be another Oxlade-Chamberlain, which again is embarrassing for the club.
Yeah, it's completely embarrassing, but it's the reality of the club, the way it was for the last 5 years or whatever. Like the fact that players like him, the core of the club or whatever, can wind down their contracts. Wilshere's another one. Contract. Winding down, he's gone from the club in 30 days' time.
Yeah. It would never happen. It would never happen at another big club.
No, exactly. It's a shambles.
Yeah, you see Ronaldo ever having 1 year left in his Real Madrid deal? Absolutely not. You Messi ever having 1 year left in his Barcelona deal? No chance.
But like, listen to Ronaldo during the week, like going on about how they should name the Champions League after Ronaldo. The leverage he has, and he probably has 2 to 3 years at least left on his contract. Imagine like the leverage you're giving a player like Ramsey, who is injury prone and all that, but Arsenal need him.
He's best player on the team.
Yeah, Arsenal need him, and he's like, he's about to enter his last year. We saw what happened with Sanchez and the likes. He has so much leverage over the club right now.
Yep. Yeah,
So
yeah.
he can ask for any amount of money, and if they don't pay it, someone else will.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you keep him if you can get him tied up to a new deal, great. But if I'm Aaron Ramsey, I don't sign it, and Arsenal are going to need to cash in on him to avoid losing what's potentially 40 million quid.
And then it also gives the other clubs
The other
that
thing is,
leverage.
You either don't sign it or you make that guy the captain of the club.
Yeah.
And he's the
You
face.
build your team around
He's the
him.
face of the club,
Yeah.
not Mesut Ozil. That's the opposite.
Jack Wilshere, again, I sign him. He gets a lot of stick. A lot of people really hate Jack Wilshere. He is injury prone. I do feel bad for him because it's not always his fault. But I sign him. I sign him because he's going to cost you. A player of his quality is going to cost you way more to replace.
Yeah.
And he wants to stay at the club. He clearly wants to stay at the club.
Aye. I think if you're sticking with the 50 million available transfer budget or whatever it is,
We're up to 100. We've sold David Ospina, we've sold Mustafi, and we've sold Callum Chambers.
But
Right,
we
okay.
bought a few though.
We bought Johnny Evans, we bought Papadop. We'll deal with that at the end.
I think if you are Arsenal and you do have this limited budget, then you re-sign him.
You have to keep
because
him.
if you're going to sign someone else, they're going to cost
You definitely
nowadays
sign
they're
him
going to
on.
cost you 40 million at least.
You sign him on depending on the wages he's asking. I'd love to know how much he's asking for and how much they're offering, because there seems to be like a breakdown for the last 6 months over the offer, which is supposedly like performance
A
based.
pay cut or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
So he either has to play every game in the season and get the proper wage that he's worth, or else he gets injured and he gets paid practically nothing. You don't sign that if you're him. You go somewhere else.
No, because someone else will give him the money.
Exactly. So, what would it take to buy him in the transfer market? 25 million.
Yeah, probably.
So we
Something
don't
that.
like Arsenal don't have 25 million to replace him.
Yeah.
So you sign him. Unless it's ridiculous, it's like twice the salary he's asking for, which I don't think he is, to be honest. So
El Neni isn't good enough.
Nah.
He's not. You sell him straight. I'm not even going to debate it. Right,
No,
we're just going to
wasting
move
time.
on for him.
I
Like,
keep him because he's a squad player, but it depends on what you get offered to
I don't know. Probably no more than 10, 15. 50. Right, you're
if you offer
keeping
me
him.
10, I'll take it.
Yeah. Henrik Mkhitaryan, obviously you're keeping because you've only just signed him in January,
Yeah.
but
He didn't really do enough to
Yeah,
prove himself.
I think he might be done.
yeah.
I think he might be done. I think it's been 2 years since he had that season at Dortmund where he was phenomenal. Scored a lot of goals, provided a lot of assists. Moved to Man U, obviously fell out of favour with Jose. I haven't seen enough when he's played for Arsenal to think this guy's a top quality player.
That's my fear. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the first game of the season was Everton or something, and he a goal and 2 assists, and I was like, we got an absolute gem. I think he's seriously regressed since then. I think he gives the ball away an awful lot, and I'd be concerned that he's done as well. I think he looks like an old player.
Well,
Do you
that's
ever look at him and say, like, he looks older than
Armenian.
Yeah.
Get those sort of genes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he doesn't give you. he's a playmaker. He doesn't give you a whole lot of pace. He slows the game down quite a lot. So, I mean, if you've got him and Ozil in the same team,
They don't do a lot of runs in behind.
You're slowing the game down a lot playing with them.
It's one or the other, because Ozil is actually, he's got a little burst to him that you probably don't recognise, but I think you were talking about Liverpool's front line, for example.
It's all
The
pace.
is devastating. If Arsenal are going to try play that way, and that is what's suggested Emery will do,
Yeah, especially with Aubameyang up front.
if you don't have that electric pace, like Aubameyang is fast, right? Lacazette is not as fast as I thought he was going to be, but he's not slow.
Yeah, he's not slow.
But you got Ozil and you got Mkhitaryan as the other two. I prefer to have someone like Mane
Yeah,
and Salah.
yeah,
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So that is my concern, is that Mkhitaryan.
You have to keep him though.
You have to keep him, because what do you get? Where do you sell him? Where do you sell him now?
I mean, I don't.
You sell him to someone like Porto probably or something. But you're not going to make the profit on him.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's not, like, end of the day, he's not getting sold. He's been there 6 months.
Yeah,
He gets another season, whatever happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Mesut Ozil's the same. He's just signed a new deal, 300 grand.
you just hope the new manager comes in and kicks his ass a bit.
Yeah, the 300 grand looks like a bad idea all of a sudden. Like, I remember when
It was totally political, eh?
Yeah, when that happened, I think it was Sanchez had just left or whatever, and Ozil signs this contract, and everyone was like, "Whoa, we got one of our best players still. We got to keep him." He was playing for a contract though. He definitely was playing. Like, the best months of the last season were up until that contract was signed.
It
and
was
now
just.
I look at him, he didn't show up for the last 4 weeks because the season was over. But it's like, you know what? I'm getting paid 300 grand.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna protect myself for the World Cup. That's a mentality issue that is totally wrong straight away.
Yeah,
It was just more a hierarchy thing where they couldn't be seen to lose Oxlade-Chamberlain in the summer.
Then
Comes round to
Sanchez.
January, then Sanchez
and Ozil.
and Jack Wilshere's out of contract, and Aaron Ramsey's out of contract the next year.
Mertesacker as well. Like
Yeah.
But he
all these kind of older
like,
players in the squad.
But he more than doubled his wages, and there's still a question mark hanging over him.
Oh, it's insane.
It's like, does he show up in the big games? We said this. We were like, the game he needs to show up now is away from home against Atletico Madrid in the Europa League semi-final,
Yeah.
when we messed up at home,
Yeah.
and he wasn't to be seen.
What
Nowhere
is
to
it?
be seen.
You paid him 300 grand. 300 grand a week wouldn't pay 10 million for Johnny Evans in January.
I know.
It just epitomises the whole club.
Yeah, it was. That was
Just you
it was
see,
a
they
PR it
made
was a PR
made
thing.
a last minute bid for Fabinho.
Nah,
A little bit.
rubbish.
No, you know.
I don't buy the
Wouldn't
Arteta.
surprise me.
I don't buy the Arteta thing either.
What?
I think they were messing around there. I think they were smoke screening the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They honestly, if they thought that they could get away with signing Arteta as the coach, I would be seriously worried about the people that are making the decisions.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Do you know,
Could be right.
Like,
Could be right.
come on, like, someone who's been there for 22 years, and all of a sudden you're bringing in a person that's never coached the game. It seems
Arsenal.
It seems
Tight
even,
bastards.
it seems a little bit worse than that. I thought, honestly, like, I think they might have been messing around a bit there to cover things up.
Yeah. Possibly. I don't know.
You don't know. Chelsea might have been fishing around if they were.
Yeah. I don't know. Unai Emery's a decent appointment for me.
Yeah, I think
Sensible.
it's good, yeah.
Sensible. He's going to organise a team. So midfielders, we've got Xhaka. You keeping him? Selling him?
Keep, yeah.
Keeping him. Aaron Ramsey.
Keep.
Wilshere.
Keep if you can, reasonably, yeah.
El Neni.
No,
I'm happy to keep him, but
What does he give you?
I'm happy to keep him, but depends on what you get from him. You see, if you can get like, if you're getting 5 million for him, I keep him. But if you're getting 13 million for him, I'm selling.
Yeah.
There's a 8 million difference in there.
Yeah.
Right. If we can get 13 million, I'll put out the feelers.
Yeah.
Right. Mkhitaryan, you have to keep.
yeah,
Ozil, you have to keep. Maitland-Niles, obviously 20, good youth prospect.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
a first team prospect for me next
Yeah.
season. Yeah.
He did look good.
Yeah.
He looked very good. So that's a full midfield we're keeping.
Yeah,
So are we-
I'm keeping everyone except I want to add one centre mid to that.
Yeah,
That's
happy with that.
so a centre half and a centre mid. If nothing else happens, if no one gets sold and no one else is bought, I think those two positions have to happen.
Yeah,
So a centre half, at least the region of 20 million, and a centre mid at least the region of 30 million is a minimum priority.
yep.
And I think Seri is like possible for 34 million if he wants to sign for the club.
Yep.
I think you do that. I don't think you're getting better than 34 million.
Well, they don't have some free wages as well with Cazorla.
He's
yeah,
gone.
Cazorla's gone.
gone.
Mertesack's gone. Yeah.
Free up some
You
wages.
freed up some wages there straight away. You got your Joel Campbell.
Joe Campbell. Right, so move on to forwards. Lacazette. Do you keep him?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, you keep him?
Yeah, definitely.
I think he's going to be a bit upset with the situation, being like coming in. It never really. I feel enough he's only been there really for 6 months, I suppose, by the time Aubameyang came in, but he was there. Never really kicked off, I suppose. Maybe as much as everybody hoped, and then obviously Aubameyang came in, and now he's the main man.
It didn't
Yeah,
happen,
they don't. I know Arsene Wenger played both in a few games last season, but I can't see Emery, who wants to be organised, playing both of them.
Yeah,
I think one's going to be on the bench.
Yeah.
100%.
And if one's going to be on the bench, it's going to be Lacazette.
I would assume so.
Yeah. So it begs the question whether Emery changes his approach and goes with the two like Wenger was doing at the end, which actually surprisingly seemed to work. But the thing is, Emery is very defensive in that sense, and he will probably set with a Mkhitaryan who's probably better running back, and an Ozil who might be better running back. But I don't know, Lacazette's not a winger.
No,
He's
he's
not
not.
a
He's not. You can't. And Aubameyang's not a winger either.
Aubameyang's not a winger
As much
either.
as he's quick, and a lot of people that play FIFA might like to put him in the wing, he's not a winger.
No. So, like he scored one goal outside the box in the last 5 years or something. So like,
Yeah,
not happening.
he's not. It's. I suppose if you can keep them both happy, it's probably pretty good.
Well, I think you have to keep both because I think if you look at the squad now, you say the only sign of optimism was the end of the season with Lacazette and Aubameyang performing,
yeah.
and they were the big money signings last season. And I think if you sell one of them straight away, like, what are you getting? If let's say you sell Lacazette for 40 million, what are you getting for 40 million now?
In terms of a striker, not.
You're not getting better than
You can get the Ayew brothers, Ghana's finest.
No thanks. But like that's the thing, like, you're
Yeah.
not getting a striker of that quality for 40 million.
Yeah. Could you get
not
Morata?
Not for 40.
Probably not for 40. No.
And would he want to go to Arsenal when he probably could go somewhere else?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't think
Is he
so.
not talking about going back to?
To you,
I don't
I
know.
heard it, but you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So you're keeping him. You're obviously keeping Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Because he's the main guy now.
Then you've got your man Alex Iwobi, right? So I wrote this. I looked this up earlier. Can you guess how many times he's played for Arsenal
In total,
in total?
don't know. 50.
50. 98. He's got 98 games for Arsenal, which to me just summarises Arsenal as a football club the last few years.
Yeah.
Because I think he might be the worst player ever to come out of Nigeria. It's ridiculous
No,
that a boy of that talent
I'm with Mark on this.
has ever played 98 times. Like, he's okay. He's absolutely okay, but he should be going on to like championship teams and all that.
Yeah.
He's no,
Yeah.
shouldn't be playing for Arsenal.
No,
Oh,
I
top
saw
six club.
his
Out your fucking
First-
mind.
first team game away at Everton, and he was electric. And it's like, this guy is gonna be another Thierry Henry wonder kid here, and he has been absolutely awful. His attitude seems to stink, to be honest. Right? He takes a lot of abuse. He gets an awful lot of abuse from Arsenal fans, but he deserves a lot of it as well. Like, he's not fit. He doesn't put a shift in. He has a terrible shot in him for someone who's coming in off the wing, supposed to be scoring goals for the club. His assists are minimal. Like, what does he deliver?
I don't know
I
why
guess-
he's there. I honestly don't know why he's there.
But it begs the question again: what do you sell him for?
I couldn't get anything for him. Couldn't get a packet of Monster Munch for Alex Iwobi.
So in that case, do you not then say, you know what, we'll give him another season with Emery as a coach, who might be a hell of a lot better than Wenger was at getting the quality out of him, and if not, you give him away.
Yeah.
But like, what do you have to lose by keeping him then? Like salary for a year, fine.
He's probably
like
not on a lot of money.
No, I wouldn't think so. I'd say he's 60k, whatever, around that. Like,
Yeah, if that. I think begrudgingly, you'd have to keep him just because you don't get any money from him. But if I could, if someone pays 15 million for him, he's out the door.
Yeah,
absolutely out the door.
Exactly. But no one's going to do that, are they?
No. And it's same with Danny Welbeck. I don't see
Danny Welbeck I sell no matter
no matter how much you get from him.
4 million I won't sell, but like honestly, if it's anything reasonable, I sell, because I've given him too many chances to like.
He's just not got the quality.
No, he hasn't got the quality. That's the problem. He's athletic. He is. I'd say he can be tough to defend against sometimes because he's fast and he's strong, he's powerful, and whatever. But he can't finish, and if he can't finish as a striker, what's your purpose?
If you're a defender, you can just let him get there. Just let him get 1-on-1 with the keeper.
I feel he's still trading on that one game for Man U against Madrid that everybody remembers when he was unbelievable.
Well, he had a couple,
and that was 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah,
and he's still I still remember him for that reason.
He seems to be a guy that can live off a reputation created from. He has the odd game that is like, Welbeck is on fire. He's gonna start banging in goals, and then all of a sudden he gets played in 1-on-1 and he scuffs it and it goes wide. And it's like, how do you fall over so often when you're in the box? I don't get it.
Well, how do you, as a human being on 2 legs, fall over so often?
It's like he's no balance and he's injury prone and everything. It's just he's never. I'm sorry, but he's never actually going to achieve anything. I don't think, as a player.
Nah. What do you think his market value is? What do you think you're realistically getting for him?
I think you're getting, if you got 20 million for Walcott, you're probably getting 20 million for Welbeck.
I was thinking 20 to 25.
20 million.
Like, Walcott is 27.
Well, if Everton offload Rooney and all that, those wages,
I think
they
like
could buy him for 20 million.
Yeah.
Like a club like Huddersfield, for example, or something, might look at him and say, you know what, he'll stretch defences, he'll get some goals. He misses a lot of chances, but he'll get some goals for a team like Huddersfield.
Yeah.
Do you think you mightn't get 20, but you'll get 15 from Huddersfield or something?
Yeah.
I think you sell him.
Right, okay. Danny Welbeck's gone. So, if you can, you're selling David Ospina for 5, Mustafi for 20, Danny Welbeck for 20, Callum Chambers for 5, and if you say your starting transfer kitty was 70 million, gives you 120 million to buy Johnny Evans if you can. Johnny Evans for 3. Papadopoulos for 16 is it?
I'd say up to 18 probably.
18. So say 20 between Papadopoulos and Evans. Then that gives you 100 million
for a new centre mid and a new keeper.
I think Seri is going to cost you at least 35.
35. I mean, Arsenal could still play around with that. 100 million they should still get.
But it depends on selling the players, and it must be more difficult than simply saying I'll sell and I'll keep them.
I feel like we're being pretty reasonable here.
No, we are being reasonable, but like, let's think about it. If you're selling Ospina, you're not going to do it until you have your replacements lined up. So you're going to be negotiating with teams that are going to say, oh well, you need a new keeper, 10 million is the extra price.
Yeah,
it's a straight way. 120 million might disappear on 3 players. Like, it might, like Papadopoulos, whatever his name, for 16 million, right, is what they're talking about. But if it gets desperate, it might go up to a little bit more,
Yeah, I could keep into 20, 22 million.
The keeper is the one as well.
I think if you do it early, you're getting him under.
The way Mourinho does it, just as soon as the transfer window opens, goes out, buys who he needs, what he wants,
that's
and
the
that's
encouraging signs. It looks already like there's the right back coming in, Lichtsteiner, and the centre half coming in, So straight away, two of the main issues, like Bellerin not being tested and the centre half position, are addressed. The keeper is the keeper and the centre mid are two positions I think that the price could get driven up.
Yeah.
I think like Seri was looked at by Barcelona, he was looked at by PSG. If Arsenal are offering 34 million and it looks like they're getting a deal done, what's to stop a PSG coming and saying we'll offer 44 million?
Yeah.
Nothing to them. 10 million extra to that transfer budget is not is a lot for Arsenal. So it's like, straight away you're worried. Keepers as well. Everyone knows Arsenal need a keeper.
Yeah.
But like are you getting a decent keeper for 20 million?
Especially with all the other teams looking for keepers as well. Like Liverpool.
I don't know.
And then there's talk of the guy for Atletico going.
Would you take Fabianski back though? He's not going to call it. He had a really good season for Swansea.
Firstly, would you go back to a club that didn't value you? I don't think so. And second of all, I saw an article today, Sky Sports, saying the fight for Poland's number one, like Szczesny and Fabianski. The one to me that got away there is Szczesny, not Fabianski.
Well, he's going to be Juve's number one, eh?
I know, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you let him go for £15 million. If you offered me to buy him back for £25 million, I'd do it tomorrow.
What about signing
chance.
David Luiz at centre half? Out of favour at Chelsea?
I forgot he was even playing at Chelsea.
He must
I know.
be, what's he, 30 something now?
Don't know, 33 maybe? 32?
No, he's not that old.
I think he is. I think he's 32.
I think he's a talking shite.
But surely he'd be relatively cheap now, like
31.
31.
out of favour at Chelsea, not getting a game. If they just punted him,
How
cash.
long does he go for? Like, he goes for another 2 years, and then you get like, how much you pay for a guy that will last you 2 more years?
Just sign Johnny Evans.
Just
do it.
I mean, they
man.
absolutely need to.
Just do it.
But then they could get another deal, possibly, on David Luiz.
No,
You don't
don't get. No. I don't think anyone wants David Luiz.
Exactly.
I don't
That's why
think
that's why they're getting a deal on him.
I think he's not the centre half to the need.
No.
I think he's the mentality that
He's the
half
complete
that you're looking
opposite
for.
of what they need.
He's
absolutely.
He's a Mustafi. He's a player from the back, centre half that they just don't need. Like, they really, like, Mustafi takes too many chances. He takes too many chances.
Oh, I'm not saying he's good. I'm just saying they could get him on the cheap.
He's fucking agent Neil. Just,
What cut are you getting?
I'll get you a good deal on it.
I don't want them.
Aye, so we've sold Espina, Mustafi, Chambers, Welbeck, and El Neni, and it's given us a total transfer kit of 130 million. If that's available, then I think Arsenal can. I think it was more the coach. It was more that Wenger wasn't very good rather than the players weren't very good.
Yeah.
I think the players can be good. You've got a lot of potential in that squad. It's not an old squad.
No, I agree. I mean, I think you could go based on the last season, and you could make an argument for selling probably 90% of that squad. But I think a lot of that is down to the fact that they weren't coached. I really don't understand how you could go away from home all of 2018 and no one in the squad wanted to do anything to address it. It just seemed like it was inevitable that they were going to lose every single game they played away from home. And I just don't think that the quality of player there, that should be the case. I think there should, like, Wenger wasn't doing anything. He just wasn't motivating them at all. Those players, a bit more discipline in the coaching and, fighting for your position will straight away make a lot of them better players.
There we go. Final words.
Agreed.
Final word, yeah.
I think so.
Absolutely. I'm happy with that.
What time are you at?
Just under an hour.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I think that timed well.
Right.